channel. This is Doug Machado. On this video, I'm going to be showing you guys review on the X3M Competition. I'm going to talk about how reliable the car is. A friend of mine has been with this car for almost 3 years now. The only thing he had on it was downpipes and a tune. And trust me, he's been putting this thing to a lot of stress racing every week. He uses the car as he should. So I'm going to talk about how reliable it is, what breaks, what doesn't. He's actually turning the car back into BMW now. It was a lease. I'm taking the downpipes out and putting the cats back in the car. I'm also showing you guys that whole process as well. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I'm going to be showing you guys a lot of BMW contents, a lot of how to do things, and a lot of interesting cars. Alright guys, so I want to talk about what breaks on the X3M Competition, or X3M. This car is really reliable, honestly. Nothing wrong with the motor. Very solid motor, which is the S58. And there's the B58, which is not a non-M car. It comes out on the 340s, M340s as well. It's a B58. So we're not talking about the B58, even though it's the same platform. This is the S58. Very, very, very reliable motor. I worked at the dealer. I've seen cars with 100,000 miles, and I will look through the history because we have to look through the history and go through it. There's cars with only oil changes. You don't see any history of services or repairs being done related to the motor. It's a very good motor, very reliable. Now you have, with these cars in general, not only the X3M, you have problems with programming, which is most cases that we see, but everything else is very solid. These new cars are coming out very, very solid. One thing that breaks on these cars is if you start pushing it too much power. If you're pushing, if you're doing race fuel and downpipes, tune, etc., you're gonna have problems with the drivetrain. Meaning your transfer case could go. I've seen transfer case going. I've seen the Gwibble going, which is the rubber piece between the transmission, the back of the transmission, the output, to the drive shaft. I've seen the drive shaft itself breaking. I've seen differentials breaking, and I've seen axles breaking. Reason why is if you are using the launch control. So if you stop and you're doing a race from the big, or you just taking off really fast, that's when it breaks. But if you're rolling, you have no problems breaking the drivetrain. But I do recommend you taking the axles out and sending them out to Drive Shaft Shop. I'm not sponsored by them, but they do forge axles and drive shafts. So I highly recommend to get that done. But still, your differential is not gonna be forged. Your transfer case could go bad. So be very careful. And I'm talking about the rear axles. I've never seen problems with the front axles yet. But just be cautious. If you're, like I say, if you're taking off really fast, that's when you're gonna break it. You're putting a lot of power, and since it's four-wheel drive, you're putting a lot of power, and this car has actually put the power down on the road. It doesn't spin tires, and you're putting all that power to a car that's stopped. You're really pushing it. BMW made these cars to, hold the power being stock. But now if you're modifying and you want more power, then stuff is gonna start breaking, like drivetrain. But just be cautious. If you have a little bit extra power, just be cautious, like, hey, this is very strong. I gotta be light on the drivetrain. I gotta be cautious on my drivetrain. And you're rolling 20, 30 miles an hour and you wanna gun it, go for it. But now just be cautious. Besides the drivetrain, everything else is very good with the car, very solid. Had no complaints. I have multiple customers and friends that have this car's competition, non-competition, very good car. So now let's get the hands on this thing. My buddy's actually giving this lease back, so I have to take the downpipes out, put the cats back in, take the spacers out. for him. So I'm gonna guide you guys through that process a little bit. I'm just gonna put the stand right by the engine bay and show you guys everything that I'm doing, and let's get to it. So here you go. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see the downpipes. They're really all the way down there. So I'm gonna start taking stuff apart up here. I already took the intake pipes out of the equation, and now I'm gonna get to the O2 sensors. I'm gonna take the O2 sensors out, and I'm gonna get to the downpipe clamps and to take those clamps out. Once the clamps are out, I'm gonna lift up the car, I'm gonna jack it up, I'm gonna go underneath and take the exhaust, separate the exhaust from the downpipes and pull the downpipes out. There's a few things that have to come apart before that being done, which is, you know, splash panels, the covers underneath, and there's a shield, a metal shield that goes underneath the engine. So all that has to come apart, and let's get to it. Alright, so downpipes are out. About to put the cats back in now. I'm gonna show you guys underneath the car and explain what I took out in order to get the downpipes out. It's the same process for taking the cats out versus the downpipe. It's just a little tighter because, as you can see here, the cats are a little thicker than the downpipes, but I'm going to show you underneath the car here what I did. That's the motor mount bracket. So you take the bolt out for the motor mount bracket and you jack up the engine a little bit, okay, just on the passenger side, just so you have more clearance. Also, there's a bracket that holds this cable in place. You're gonna take that bracket out in order to get the cats out, because the bracket sits like right here. So you gotta take that out, take this nut out, slide the exhaust back. It moves enough to give you clearance to take the cats out, downpipes, whatever, and you don't need to drop the whole exhaust, okay? You just have to take, on this side, there was a cover like this to hold the splash panels in place. So you're gonna take this cover out on the side of the transmission on the passenger side as well. Take that out, take the splash panels out, and you're pretty much good to go. It's just a little hassle to get them out. Just, you know, like I say, you need to have a little bit of mechanical experience. Other than that, pretty straightforward, simple. You just gotta fight, you know, with the bracket. Don't forget to lift it up, because without doing this, you can't get them out. And that's it. We're about to put this cats back in, and we'll get back to you guys. All right, guys, so it's a wrap for this video. This baby's ready. Downpipes were replaced. Stock cats are back in. Tune is out, and this car is ready to go back to BMW and make another customer happy. Stay tuned for more videos. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And again, thanks for watching.